So much effort goes into winning a new customer. Calls, demos, proposals, follow-up, negotiations. And yet, after you win a new deal, most sales teams move on to the next sales opportunity. Very little effort actually goes into maintaining the new relationship. Customer churn is extremely expensive. And let's face it, it sucks when you lose a customer that you worked so hard to get. As you've probably heard before, it can cost 5 to 7 times more to acquire a new customer versus retaining an existing one. And existing customers spend on average 67% more than new customers. And it really doesn't take much to stay top of mind so that when your customers do need something, you are the one they think of first. In this video, I'll show you how to use the contact timeline feature in Pipedrive to stay in touch with your customers so they never go too long without a touch point. And stick around to the end where I will show you the actual setup that we use at Minaco to nurture our customers from both a customer success standpoint and to help generate new sales opportunities. Let's go. So, what is the contacts timeline? In my opinion, this is one of the most underused features in Pipedrive, which is a real shame because it is extremely useful. You're going to find this feature under contacts here on the sidebar and come down to contacts timeline. This is essentially a visual representation of either the people, or you can look at the organizations in your account, and you can see your interactions and deals that you have open with these customers. So on the timeline here, you can see things like activities that you've completed, notes that you've input against that contact or organization, and emails that you've exchanged. So as long as you are using Pipedrive correctly, and for some best practices, definitely check out our 5 golden rules of using Pipedrive video, which we'll link up here. If you are inputting your activities, logging notes, and sending emails from Pipedrive, this timeline just takes care of itself. You will see your interaction with your contacts, and you can even see the deals that you have open, represented by this blue line here. You can also see green lines that show deals that you've won that you've now closed, and you can see red lines like this for deals that you have lost. So it's a very visual, very useful way of seeing your interaction with customers. Now, the ones at the top here in red, these are the organizations or people I need to follow up with based on my follow-up frequency. So I've said for this particular group of contacts, I need to follow up once per quarter, and these 6 at the top, I need to touch base with now because they haven't heard from me for at least a quarter, or at least we haven't logged an interaction here on the timeline for a quarter. We sometimes find that customers are suffering in silence. Maybe they're having a problem and they just haven't had the time to reach out for help. If you can be proactively following up every month or every quarter, you can identify problems and solve them before they become a real issue. Customers really appreciate you proactively reaching out because it shows that you really care about the relationship. Now, if you are not seeing this feature in your account, check what plan you're on. The contacts timeline feature is for people on the growth plan and above. If you're new to Pipedrive, click the link in the description below to request a quote on your licenses from Minaco. You can purchase your licenses through us. We'll give you a discount on the retail price, and we can offer you some complimentary support. Now, a useful feature of the contacts timeline is you can create different follow-up frequencies for different cohorts of customers. So you may have some VIP customers where you want to follow up weekly or monthly, or you may have kind of smaller customers that you want to follow up with quarterly or biannually. And to set this up, you can control the organizations or people that you're looking at from the filter or view options on the right-hand side. So you can see I've actually created a filter here called FUP Pipedrive Customers, Follow-Up Pipedrive Customers. And just to give you some insight into how I've actually created this, or how we organize who our customers actually are, we have a organization custom field called Pipedrive Billing Term. So here's an example of a customer. You can see we have this Pipedrive subscription details section where we input the number of seats the customer has purchased, the plan they're on, their renewal date, and their billing term, which could be monthly, annually, or canceled. So for all of our customers who are buying Pipedrive licenses from us, we input their billing term here. So essentially a customer is any organization in our account that has the Pipedrive billing term filled in, which means they show up in this particular filter. And so we've got 131 organizations showing up in this view. If I were to remove this filter, let's just remove that now. Now I'm looking at every single organization in our account. You can see we have over 7,500 organizations. It's going to be way too hard to follow up with every single one of those. So when you are using this timeline, I do recommend creating a filter. A couple of other ways you could identify your customers is to either use labels. So I could say, right, show me any organization where the label contains customer. So as long as I've been putting that label on all of our organizations, that would be another way to find our customers. Or you could even look for organizations where you have a deal status that is won. So rather than using a label, I could say, just show me any organization where we've won a deal. If you've won a deal for that organization in the past, by definition, they are a customer, or they have been previously. So there's a couple of ways there you could identify who you need to follow up with. Now, once you have created that filter, then you can come to this little edit icon here to set the follow-up frequency for that particular filter that you've created. So for this filter, I've said we need to follow up every quarter. If I go to one of my other filters, I can have a different follow-up frequency. Maybe this one, for example, I'm following up monthly. And again, the ones in red, those are the people or organizations you need to follow up with because you haven't sent an email or logged an activity within your follow-up frequency. Now, just a quick point on should you use people or organizations? Personally, the way we do it at Mineco is I like to do our follow-up based on organizations because we're often talking to multiple people at the same company, and I want to log a follow-up for that organization regardless of who we talk to, whether it's our main point of contact or somebody else on their team. An email or a call with either of those individuals would count as a follow-up for that particular organization. Now, if you just watch that and you're thinking, I never knew that feature even existed, then you are the same as most of the clients that we work with. Click the link in the description to book an introductory call with our team today, and we will help you to unlock the full potential of Pipedrive for your sales team. Now, as promised, let me show you the actual process that we use to follow up with our customers at Mineco. Firstly, I have set myself a recurring task in Asana to touch base with our customers every 2 weeks. Asana is the project management tool that we use to run our business at Mineco. It's where we plan our video content, it's where we manage our client projects, and just manage the operations and admin of the business. It's actually one of the other tools that we specialize in besides Pipedrive. And you can see here I have this task to check in with Asana and Pipedrive customers. This is assigned to me. And this repeats every second Friday. I do this every 2 weeks because I don't want lots of follow-ups to build up. I like to do this fairly often. And in the description here, this is where I've essentially created or documented our process. So the objective is to touch base with customers, both from a customer success standpoint and to generate new sales opportunities. And I've linked here the 2 Pipedrive filters from our account. So these 2 here, follow up Asana customers and follow up Pipedrive customers. I've just copied the links into this task. That makes it very easy for me to click a link and start following up. I highly recommend you set yourself a reminder to actually do your follow-ups. If you are going to simply try and remember to follow up, you probably won't. Set yourself a reminder. Now, because I do my client follow-ups every 2 weeks, usually I don't have many people to follow up with. As of today, I have 6 here in red that I need to follow up with, and I open each of these organizations in a new tab. Now, some of these organizations have just one contact person, so I open that contact and I can send an email to that person. Some of the organizations we're dealing with, we have multiple people linked to that organization. So I'll usually decide who's the main point of contact I'm going to email, but I'll often CC other people on the team so I'm actually touching base with multiple people at that company. From the contact person page, I then click on email here, and I've got my Gmail account synced with Pipedrive, and I've already got a support check-in email set up, ready to go. This is a template that I've built that's pretty straightforward, really. It's populated with the person's first name, and it says Pipedrive check-in in the subject. I say, hi, first name, hope you're well. This is a courtesy email to check in and see how your team are getting on with Pipedrive. Is there anything you're struggling with that I can help with? Also, And this is where I usually share like a recent piece of content. So I might change this now. I'll say I recently published a useful video about, and I've got a video about 5 common Pipedrive mistakes that we recently published. So I'll go back to my contact there. I'll just update my template. So a useful video about common Pipedrive mistakes to avoid. And I'll link that there. So I usually just tweak my follow-up every single time I do this every 2 weeks. And so now I can use my template. So I'll say Pipedrive check-in. There we go. The template populates with the person's name. I will also CC any other contacts at the organization I want to receive this email, and I click send. As I said, I'm doing this once every 2 weeks, and it honestly takes less than 15 minutes. It's one of the most high ROI activities I can do in my business because I'm doing customer success, checking in with our customers, making sure that they are happy, but I'm also doing sales at the same time. We are working on a project right now for one of our Pipedrive customers who I engaged with in January. I sent him one of these check-in emails and he said, hey, I'd love help with something like this. And now we're doing a project for him. As I mentioned earlier, existing customers spend on average more than your new customers. And it's so easy to do with Pipedrive. When you send regular check-in emails like this, it's a great way to start a conversation and create new sales opportunities. I hope you found this video useful. If you have any questions, post me a comment down below. I reply to every single one. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video.